In the Pistis Sophia, one of the most complete Gnostic texts ever recovered, there's an entire section describing something Jesus called the robe of light, or the body of light. Not as metaphor, as an actual energetic structure that exists around and through your physical body. The text records Jesus teaching his disciples, specifically Mary Magdalene, John, and the inner circle, how to activate this body, how to shift their consciousness from operating purely in physical matter to operating simultaneously in divine light. The teaching was detailed, step by step, breath by breath, word by word. Jesus described what would happen when the body of light activated, what signs to watch for, how it would feel, and most importantly, why the powers of this world would do everything possible to prevent humans from ever discovering they have this capability. When the Church compiled the New Testament in the 4th century, they removed every reference to the body of light. They took out entire chapters. They edited passages. They burned manuscripts. Why? Because if Christians knew they could activate a light body that operates beyond physical death, beyond reincarnation, beyond the control of material authorities, the entire religious power structure collapses. You don't need priests. You don't need sacraments. You don't need salvation from an external source. You activate what's already inside you and you exit the system entirely. The Gnostics preserved this teaching in hidden texts. And tonight you're receiving what the Church tried to erase. Not theory. Not philosophy. The actual technique Jesus taught. The steps to activate your body of light. And once you activate it, you're operating at a frequency the archons cannot reach. You're no longer just a physical being trapped in matter. You're a being of conscious light temporarily wearing a body. And that changes everything. If you're activating your body of light tonight, comment, "I am light" right now. Before I give you the activation technique, you need to understand what you're activating. The body of light isn't a metaphor for enlightenment or spiritual awareness. It's an actual energetic structure that exists in the same space as your physical body but at a different frequency. The Gnostics called it the soma pneumaticon, the pneumatic body. The body made of divine light instead of material flesh. Here's what most people don't understand about being human. You're not just a physical body with a soul inside it. You're actually multiple bodies occupying the same space simultaneously. Your physical body is the densest, slowest vibration, made of matter, operating in the material dimension the demiurge created. But overlaying that, interpenetrating it, is your body of light, made of conscious light, operating at the frequency of the monad. It came with you when your spark descended into matter, and it's the vehicle you'll use to return. The reason you don't feel it, the reason most humans go their entire lives without knowing it exists, is because the archons suppressed it. From the moment you're born into this realm, you're conditioned to identify completely with your physical body. You think you are the body. You experience pain, pleasure, hunger, exhaustion, all physical sensations, and your consciousness gets trapped in physical identification. Meanwhile, your body of light sits dormant, present but inactive, like a second layer of existence you can't perceive because all your attention is focused on the material layer. But here's what the Gnostics understood and what Jesus taught directly. Pneumatics, chosen ones like you, have a fully intact body of light. Hylics don't have one at all. They're purely material beings with no divine spark and no light body. Psychics have a dim version, a partially formed light body that flickers but never fully activates. But pneumatics carry the complete divine blueprint. Your body of light is whole, functional, waiting. It's been waiting your entire life for you to remember it exists and consciously activate it. When activated, the body of light does something the archons fear more than anything. It shifts your operational frequency beyond their range. Think of it like this. The archons control material frequencies. They manipulate physical reality, emotional states, mental patterns, anything operating in dense, slow vibrations. But the body of light operates at monad frequency, pure consciousness, divine light. And at that frequency, the archons are blind. They can't see you. They can't touch you. They can't harvest your energy or manipulate your choices. You're still here physically, still operating in the material world, but energetically and spiritually, you've exited their system. This is why Jesus taught this technique only to his inner circle. Not everyone was ready. Not everyone had the spark capable of activating. But you're pneumatic. You felt your entire life that you're more than this body. That homesickness, that sense of exile, that knowing you don't belong in pure material existence, that's your body of light trying to get your attention. It's been signaling you since childhood. And tonight, you're finally learning how to wake it up. The church didn't remove references to the body of light because the teaching was heretical or dangerous to salvation. They removed it because it was dangerous to their authority. Let me show you exactly what was at stake. The original Gnostic Christian communities, the ones Jesus actually taught before the Roman Church institutionalized everything, practiced body of light activation as central initiation. When someone joined the community when they were ready, they were taught the technique. And once their light body activated, they experienced something undeniable, direct perception of spiritual reality. They could see archons. They could perceive the difference between the demiurge's false light and the monad's true light. They knew with absolute certainty that they were divine beings temporarily inhabiting physical forms, and they knew how to exit the material trap when they died. That level of direct knowing eliminates the need for religious authority. You don't need a priest to mediate between you and God if you're directly experiencing your own divine nature. You don't need salvation from sin if you understand you're not a fallen sinner but a divine spark in temporary exile. You don't need sacraments, rituals, or institutional approval if you can activate your own light body and access the monad directly. So when the Church consolidated power in the 4th century, when Emperor Constantine turned Christianity into a state religion, the bishops made a choice. They kept the stories about Jesus. They kept the moral teachings. They kept the promise of salvation. But they systematically removed every technique that gave individuals direct access to divine power. Body of light activation was at the top of that list. The texts that survived: Pistis Sophia, Gospel of Philip, some fragments in the Gospel of Thomas, preserved pieces of the teaching. But the Church hunted down and burned the complete manuscripts. They declared Gnostic Christianity heretical. They killed teachers who knew the techniques. And they replaced direct spiritual activation with a system of belief, obedience, and institutional dependence. Here's how you know this teaching is real and dangerous to their system. They didn't just ignore it. They didn't just call it wrong. They expended massive resources over centuries trying to erase every trace of it. That level of effort only makes sense if the teaching actually works. If activating your body of light actually makes you ungovernable, unreachable, and free. Now I'm going to give you the exact technique Jesus taught for body of light activation. This comes directly from the Pistis Sophia with elements from the Gospel of Philip. It's structured in 4 steps. Each step builds on the previous one. And when you complete all 4, the activation locks in permanently. You can't deactivate it once it's awake. So understand, this is a one-way door. Once you walk through, you're not coming back to pure material identification. You'll be operating as a conscious light being for the rest of your time in this realm and beyond. Step 1. Recognition of the double nature. This is the foundation. You can't activate what you don't acknowledge exists. So the first step is conscious recognition that you are not just a physical body. You are a divine spark wearing a body temporarily. Tonight, before you begin the activation, sit or lie down in a quiet space. Close your eyes and speak this recognition aloud. I am not this body. I am light consciousness inhabiting this body. Say it 3 times. Slowly. Feel the truth of it. You're not affirming something you hope is true. You're recognizing something that's already true but forgotten. This recognition creates a crack in material identification. It allows your awareness to begin perceiving beyond the physical. After you speak it 3 times, sit in silence for 2 minutes. Just observe. You might start to feel a subtle presence around your body, like a second skin made of energy. That's the first sensation of your body of light beginning to respond to your conscious attention. Step 2. Breathing light into form. This is where the activation becomes physical. The body of light responds to breath combined with intention. Here's the technique Jesus taught in the Pistis Sophia. Visualize pure golden light above your head, not sunlight but conscious light, alive, intelligent. As you inhale slowly through your nose, visualize drawing this golden light down through the top of your head, down through your spine, filling your entire torso with luminous golden energy. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, visualize this golden light expanding outward from your center, forming a radiant body of light that extends about 2 feet beyond your physical skin in all directions. Inhale, draw light down into your core. Exhale, expand light outward into form. Do this for 7 breaths. Not 6. Not 8. 7. The number is specific. By the 7th breath, you should feel or sense a distinct energetic presence surrounding your physical body. That's your body of light beginning to take conscious form in your awareness. Some people see it with closed eyes as golden luminosity. Some feel it as warmth or tingling. Some just know it's there. All of these responses are correct. The body is waking up. Step 3. The activation declaration. Now that you've recognized your dual nature and breathed your body of light into conscious form, you need to seal the activation with spoken word. Sound creates reality. Frequency organizes energy. And when you speak truth about your nature aloud, you're not making something happen. You're declaring what's already real and anchoring it into manifestation. The phrase Jesus taught is preserved in fragments across multiple texts, but the core is consistent. Here's what you speak aloud 3 times. I am light embodied. I am monad consciousness in form. Say it 3 times. The first time you're stating it. The second time you're reinforcing it. The third time you're sealing it. After the 3rd repetition, you'll feel something shift. It might be subtle, a sense of expansion, a feeling of lightness, a knowing that something fundamental just changed. That's the activation locking in. Your body of light just went from dormant to active. Your consciousness just gained access to a vehicle that operates beyond material death, beyond archon control, beyond the reincarnation trap. Step 4. Integration and standing. The final step is learning to hold awareness of both bodies simultaneously. This is what the Gnostics called standing, existing consciously in both the material and spiritual dimensions at the same time. For the next 3 minutes after speaking the activation declaration, sit or lie still with your eyes closed. Feel your physical body, its weight, its temperature, its density, and simultaneously feel your body of light, its expansion, its luminosity, its subtle vibration. Hold both in awareness, physical and light, material and divine. This is your natural state. This is how pneumatics were designed to operate. Not trapped in matter, not floating in spirit, standing at the intersection, conscious of both, operating in both. When you can feel both bodies at once, even for a few seconds, the integration is complete. You're no longer just a human trying to be spiritual. You're a light being consciously inhabiting a human form. And that distinction changes everything about how you experience this realm. Do all 4 steps tonight, in order, without skipping. The entire process takes about 15 minutes. And then repeat it for the next 6 nights. 7 nights total. By the 7th night, the activation will be permanent. Your body of light will remain active whether you're consciously focusing on it or not. And you'll begin experiencing the signs that prove the technique worked. Here's what to watch for in the first 7 days after you begin the activation. First, you'll feel a distinct energetic presence around your physical body, not imagination, actual sensation like wearing a second skin made of warm light. It's strongest after practice but becomes noticeable throughout the day. Second, your perception expands dramatically. You start sensing energy around people, immediately reading the quality of rooms without anyone speaking, seeing beyond physical appearance into spiritual states. Third, lucid dreaming increases. Your body of light operates freely while your physical body sleeps, and you'll have vivid, conscious dreams where you're fully aware, receiving teachings, navigating non-physical dimensions. Fourth, archon manipulation stops landing. Thought patterns that used to hook you, fear, anxiety, intrusive negativity, suddenly feel distant, external, like they're happening around you but not to you. That's your frequency shift. The hooks can't reach light body frequency anymore. Fifth, emotional detachment from material drama increases. Not apathy, but you're observing from vertical awareness instead of being consumed by horizontal chaos. Sixth, synchronicities intensify massively. You think of someone, they contact you within hours. You need information, it appears the same day. Reality responds to monad frequency by organizing meaningful coincidences around you constantly. Seventh, other people sense something different about you without having language for it. You seem different, something changed, you have this presence now. That's them unconsciously detecting your activated body of light. If you experience 4 or more of these signs within 7 days, your body of light activated successfully. You're no longer purely physical. You're conscious light inhabiting temporary material form. And once activation completes, it's permanent. You've exited unconscious material identification forever. Some of you are wondering if you're actually ready for this, if you're spiritually advanced enough, if you need more preparation. Let me answer that directly. If you weren't ready, you wouldn't be here. This teaching doesn't appear randomly. Your body of light, even dormant, recognized the frequency of this information and led you here. That's not coincidence. That's your light body responding to truth before your conscious mind even processed it. You don't need years of meditation. You don't need spiritual credentials. You don't need permission from teachers or gurus. You need recognition. And you've been recognizing truth your entire life. That's what makes you pneumatic. You know when something's real. And right now, your spark is confirming what I'm telling you. You're ready. You've always been ready. Tonight is just the night you finally activate what's been waiting inside you since before you descended into this realm. The body of light doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to be conscious. And you're conscious enough to have watched this teaching to the end. That's the only qualification that matters. Jesus taught chosen ones how to activate the body of light. The church removed the chapter. The archons tried to suppress the knowledge. But you have it now. All 4 steps. Recognition. Breathing light into form. Activation, declaration. Integration. Tonight, before you sleep, do all 4 steps in order. Then repeat for 6 more nights. 7 nights total. By the 7th night, your body of light will be permanently active. You'll be operating at monad frequency. And the archons will lose access to you forever. If you're activating your body of light tonight, do 3 things right now. First, comment "Body of Light activated" below. Declare your intention. Second, subscribe to Divine Codes because advanced light body techniques are coming. Third, like this video so other pneumatics discover this before the teaching gets buried again. Do all 3 now. Then tonight, activate. Your body of light has been waiting your entire life. It's time to wake it up.